National Park, Skyline Drive. Thank you. All right, here we are, Skyline Drive. Had to do that. Let's do the first overlook. We are heading south to gorgeous. Not too bad herself. So here we go. Oh, I love that. Look at that twisty sign. Nothing but twisty mountain roads. Not getting any better than this. Look at those views. So we are on the south leg of Skyline Drive, Shenandoah Valley Mountains. We have some of the highest peaks heading our way. Buck Hollow, 2710. Feet up in the air over above sea level. Many, 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 many overlooks on this one. First stop I'll make, we'll ask Google, what are the must-sees? 2770. We'll hit at least every other one. Whoa, my goodness. Outstanding. The best view I just got on here is the best view yet that we've seen of Skyline Drive. I did the first half from Front Royal, where you pick up the north entrance of Skyline Drive, to Luray, which is about a third of the way. And it had some really nice overlooks, but nothing like I just saw there. So I have a feeling what's coming up is going to be spectacularly outstanding. I'm a 76-year-old rider, been riding racing motorcycles most of my life. Bicycles, cool. I wouldn't want to go up this mountain on a bicycle. This is my preferred method of two-wheel, something with some horsepower. This is a 2017 Honda CB500F. A little foo-foo bike I picked up during the pandemic. Picked it up dirt cheap. Everybody was scared to death they wouldn't be able to go outside. I bought it so I could go outside, despite the fact they told you couldn't. Rode it for about a month. Decided not happy with this little foo-foo bike. It's a gorgeous bike. 471 cc's, about 50 horsepower. Not a lot by today's standard, but I didn't like the way it handled. I didn't like the way it braked. I thought we could get some better performance out of it. First thing we did was just strip it down completely for the winter of 2000. Oh golly, I forgot the year of the pandemic. Anyway, 22, something like that. Stripped it to the bare frame and motor. Stripped about 40 pounds of unnecessary weight. A lot of it was just, for the looks, fiberglass panels and stuff like that. Ripped out the air box, pretty heavy air box where the air filter is. We totally redid the front suspension, rear suspension, made them fully adjustable, upgraded all the parts, rear shock, front fork, dampeners. Went after the brakes next. Set of gaffer calipers, front and rear, stainless steel lines, that radial brake master cylinder, the Benbro master cylinder. Wow, what a difference. Bike stops on it. This bike will do stoppies now. That's when you hit the front brake real hard and the rear brake comes up in the air. So now we got brakes. Put a full exhaust on it, some K&N air filters. They look real good. Got a see-through frame. I got a cafe racer look. Pinnacles overlook. 3320. Okay, yesterday was Thursday. Had no look at that. I mean, it's breathtaking. I took my words away. So green. Mountains as far as the eye can see, the valley below. Alright, keeps getting better and better. Let's go. Dog's getting his picture, his portrait. People love their dogs. Anyway, so back to the bike. We turned it into a totally different bike. Doesn't feel anything about the stock bike. It's fast, it handles good, it's light. We also redid, lowered the gear ratio on the, or actually, you'd say numerically higher but lower front-wise, front rear sprockets. Get more acceleration. Gave up a little top speed, but I don't care. This is where I do most of my riding in the Hanover, PA area. Has lots of great twisty roads, mountain roads, plenty of parks, mountain ranges, dirt roads. We ride the dirt roads in the parks, up in the mountains. Beautiful overlooks everywhere. I mean, just what friggin' riding's all about. Just the freedom, the good feelings you get from it. Total concentration, you just forget everything. This is all you think about. You don't think about a problem. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No traffic. I mean, everybody talks about what motorcycling is to them, how it makes them feel good, clears your mind, scientific studies. give you all kinds of reasons. Serotonin, you lose this, you gain that, the benefits of riding. And I'm going to tell you why I ride. I ride because it's friggin' fun and makes me feel good. That's it, the freedom. I learned that when I was 12. We moved from the city to the county to a big white house, Baltimore County. The old owner left behind a Suzuki 80, said you can have it, it wouldn't run. I said, Dad, give me $100, I need to get this bike running. Guess I was 12-ish. Dad, run me to the bike shop, I gotta get the parts. I had a cool dad. Very cool dad. Everybody loved him, looked like James Bond. My mother looked like she was a movie star, blonde, perfect build, real funny, sense of humor. Anyway, we got that little Suzuki running. I lived about a mile from the railroad tracks. I would run up illegally on McDonough Road, down to the railroad. Jeez, look at that bad boy. We'd run up to the railroad tracks and then just go anywhere we want, anywhere I wanted. When I say we, I'm talking about me and the motorcycle. We always, I don't know why I talk like that, but it's just like, it's part of me. Every one of my bikes is part of me. I probably had 30 of them, 35, 40 of them, racing bikes, street bikes, cafe racers. Yeah, 12 years old, I wasn't stuck on no screen, stuck inside, like today's kids are, mentally ruined from social media. I was out there on my motorcycle every day after school. I'd get out of school, it was like fucking getting out of jail every day, hopping on that little Suzuki, and just, sometimes I'd be 15, 20 miles away from my house. We found a big hill climb where all the big boys, the men, the teenagers would run. Took me about 30 tries on that hill before I finally made it up the hill that some of these older riders couldn't. I mean, geez, just look at this view. Everyone's better than the other one. Look at the little valley, the houses down there. All right. Lots of people. Yeah, so that's what got me hooked on motorcycles. Grew out of the little 80 fairly fast. My next bike was a 250 Yamaha, DT 250. It was a half enduro, half street bike. Back in the early 70s. Did a lot of dirt bike riding with the locals. It hit quarries, good places to ride. Parking here. And one day, a good friend of mine, Greg Boutwell, his family owned Boutwell's motorcycle shop in Cockeysville, says, Bruce, I need you to strip your bike down as much as you can. Put some number plates on it. Get a pair of boots, and we're going to race some motorcycles 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 2 Sundays from today. I go, okay, well, I'm up for that. But what is it? He says, I think they call it hare scramble. It's a big sport over in Europe. He says, we're going to run on a dirt track with lots of jumps and ruts and water. And there'll be like 40 or 50 of us lining up. They're going to run a big rubber band across the starting gate. When they let the rubber band go, we all take off. I think there were almost 50 of us. Scared shitless. Had no idea what I was up to. But after the first lap, I was hooked. Ultimately, in the next couple of races, we were calling it motocross. That's what it was. Really motocross. Most physically demanding sport there is, other than soccer. And I was hooked on it from there. I just raced District 7, Maryland, Virginia, every Sunday during the spring, summer, fall. Me and my buddy Adam Polikoff, we lived a couple blocks away from each other. We just haul our motorcycles into a trailer. And we go racing every Sunday. Adam was a little better than me. I'd put myself in the top 10% of the riders we raced with. Got very good at it. Made it to expert class. Won a lot of trophies. Broke some bones. Generally had a great time. The camaraderie of that motocross scene was just, I don't know how to describe it. Great part of my life. So we were the pioneers, which turned out to be kind of habit forming for me because I went on to pioneer some other endeavors. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Anyway, motocross, I was motocrossing, living in Baltimore County. Wow, look at this hill. Just keep going up and up, my ears are popping like crazy. Yeah, pardon me for a minute. You can't hear it, but I can. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, so started actually dealing some drugs. I won't tell you what. But I made a lot of money doing that, and I was living in a beautiful apartment, Baltimore County, Pikesville. Skyline, food, lodging, cottages, saddle horses. Check that out on the way home. Yeah, anyway, I was going out with one of my good friends, girlfriend. Worked for the district attorney office in Baltimore County. The apartment complex I lived in, there were lots of drug dealers. She calls me up, Bruce, you got a warrant. They're going to serve it Monday. This was Sunday. She says I got warrants for about around 15 different apartments. It's just time to get out of town. Luckily I had a batch of cash, had a batch of some drugs, cocaine if you must know. Had a little sports car, called up Adam, my racing buddy. Adam, get your van, come over to my house, take anything you want, fill the van up with all my possessions, packed up what I needed. Skyline. Packed up what I needed. And headed for California. Alright, gotta get away from this guy. Headed for California. Never forget, pulled into Santa Monica, up near the above Santa Monica, near the ocean. I was all out of my cocaine. I thought I was. I thought I had some more somewhere. I had it hidden all over the car. Pull up. Eric Clapton starts singing this song. I'm looking at the Pacific Ocean, first time. Got a lot of cash in my car. Didn't know what I was going to do. And lo and behold, Eric Clapton comes on the radio singing a song about cocaine. And I remembered, yeah, I had stashed a little bit under my seat. Did the last of it, which was kind of funny. the last of it, and now I'm living in California. Rented a motel in Santa Monica for a while. Ran out of money, had no idea what I was going to do. Was a little panicky. And I am at a Denny's, Pico Boulevard, about a half a block from the ocean. About a half a block from the ocean. Had I think $5-6 in my pocket. I could walk into Denny's, see what I could find. Go to pay my bill. Guy in front of me drops a $20 bill on the ground. I wait till he leaves, I pick it up. Now at least I got $20. Now here's really weird. I got a rich cousin, Barry. I was very close with his family. Barry was a guitar player. Barry was a guitar player. Good guitar player. Father sends him to LA to get famous. Alright, here comes a strange part. I am walking across the street. I'm going to go, I guess, go see the beach. Walk the beach. Didn't know. I had no idea what I was going to do. I am in the middle of Santa Monica Boulevard, Pico. And there's Barry. There's Barry. What the fuck? What are the chances of me meeting my cousin 2,500 miles away from home, both of us? And you know, we were good friends. I knew he was in LA, but I had no idea where. And he was living on a place right on the ocean. An apartment complex, 3-story apartment complex. He says, yeah, come stay with me as long as you need. Now I got a place to stay. All right, LA, that was great. Wound up working for a motorcycle shop. Built a bike, cafe racer for the mountains. Santa Monica Mountains. Would go riding, racing up in the mountains every Sunday. Cruise to the Rock Store, a very famous place where hundreds and hundreds of motorcyclists would gather. All kinds of bikes, street bikes, race bikes. And we would just race the canyon roads all day. Funny story, I was working at a Honda, Santa Monica Honda. Santa Monica Honda had a Mexican service manager, Joaquin, and I was a good mechanic, and he liked me. But every Friday I disappeared because I wanted to go to the beach, go roller skating, which was a sport we pioneered also, outdoor roller skating in California. But every Friday I disappear, you know, about lunchtime. So one Friday I get there, walk up to my lift, he's got a bike on it, and I didn't notice it, but there was a chain around the pole of the lift. As soon as I got near the chain, like 5 mechanics jump on me. Joaquin changed me to my lift. Says, Hartz, I got you all day Friday. I got work needs to be done. I got 6 tune-ups for you to do. I'm going to bring you lunch. I'm going to bring you parts. And you're here till close. And I was. I don't know where that story came from. It just, I felt like telling it. Yeah, so here I am living at this place. This crazy apartment with all kinds of characters on the beach, Santa Monica, Pico Boulevard. Next to a giant hotel that had gone through a metamorphosis of so many things. There was a cult living there when I was there. Lots of strange stuff I see looking out my window from Santa Monica. Let's see if we can get by some of these people. Right next, across the hall from me was a beautiful girl named Maureen, Italian. Drop dead gorgeous. We got to be good friends. And she was a roller skater. You know, skating Venice Beach. There weren't a whole lot of skaters, but she says, Bruce, I need. We're going to put together, her and her boyfriend, we're going to put together a roller skate shop in Venice. We need you to help us. We're going to make and sell roller skates, ship them all over the country, because this outdoor roller skate thing's going to be big. She was right. So I put on a pair of roller skates. I was a natural because it got great balance, in good shape. And we lived on roller skates, morning till night. We built a roller skate factory up by the airport. Had about 20 Mexicans working for us. Had a huge warehouse. I put together a assembly line to make roller skates, because there's a lot of parts go into a roller skate, probably like 35, 40. And we made hundreds and hundreds, thousands of outdoor skates, shipped them all over the country, just like you said we would. And just had a ball doing that. Name of the company was Road Skates. Very famous back then. Cheap skates and road skates. And to this day, people still love skating outdoors. Sports indoor, inline skates, regular roller skates, 8 wheels. I'm digging this ride. So I lived in California for a while. I think 6 years or so. Jeez. Moved out of the ocean front place, because they sold it. And I had a good friend, kind of a semi-pro volleyball player, really good player. We rented a house across from Santa Monica High School, block from the beach. His name was Doyen, and he was a spectacular guy. I mean, just one of the best volleyball players. You know, tall, California look. We rented that house together. I don't know how many years. We'd sit on the front porch, and Doyen, he had a way with the girls. I can't tell you how many of those high school girls wound up in this bedroom. They just sit on the porch smoking a doobie and, hey, come on over. They come over. He had a way with the women. I remember once at a outdoor cafe in Venice. Let's check this one out if we can get in there. Ooh. Oh, here's where we take a break, I think. Jeez. All right, another biker. Okay, so that last stop was fun. An older couple walks up to me, looks at my bike, says, "Nice bike." Half hour later, we talked. He was from England. He had a young wife, married for a long time, retired young like me, riding racing motorcycles most of his life over in England. He was my clone. He was my clone from England. We had so much in common it was ridiculous. Alright, but that ate up a half hour. Now I got a hair in my eye. So that's another nice thing about riding. You meet a lot of nice people. Alright, it takes a minute to get back in the rhythm of riding. Alright, at least they're not slow pokes. Oh, there are two people on that bike. Alright, back to my stories. Bruce Hartz's life stories. 76 years old. If I die tomorrow, I led a hell of a life. Married to the same woman, same girl, for I don't know how long, 30, 40 years. Great family. I'm a grandfather now. 2 fun kids. Toddler. Don't know why I'm telling you this, because this is really for the family, so edit that out. Alright, so here we're up on top of the mountains. Many mountains. I've never seen so many mountains in my life. And I live by mountains. That's where I mostly ride my bike. But back to, bragging about being very innovative. Started when I was, probably started when I was 6 or 7 and jumping my bicycle. We built these giant jumps. So we would race them on dirt roads. We would strip our bikes down, so we were the original BMXers. We would do tricks on them, all kinds of things. Then at 12, up in Reisterstown, the bowling alley opened up a giant slot car track. It was so cool. I went there to go bowling one week, and then go back bowling the next week, and they got 4 giant slot car tracks. So being a little rich kid I was, Dad, I need a lot of money to go buy these slot cars. We want to race slot cars. They had races, sanctioned races. Everybody was racing these out of the box slot cars. They're about as big as your hand, very fast. But of course, I can't leave anything alone. Just like my daughter's little Jeep she had, a little electric Jeep. That was too slow. We put a bigger battery in that, put in the back, and that thing did wheelies. My lawn tractors all got modified. Anything I had, I always thought I could make better, and I did. This guy on the Harley's not afraid of me. Yeah, so slot cars. We had a ball race them for about 2 weeks, and I said, screw this. Got to be a way to make these things faster. They'd run on little electric motors. My best friend, Bobby Goldman's father, was an electrical genius. He was in the starter and alternator generator back then, rebuilding business. So I said, yeah, well, how do you make one of these motors spin up faster? He says, easy. You just take the armature of the electric motor, it's wound with wire. He says, take the wire out, and I forgot what he said. Oh, we put more wire in it, thinner wire. So we would take the old wire out and take, like 40 feet of wire out of this tiny little armature and wind it with 80 feet of really thin wire, wrap it in epoxy to keep it together, let it dry, and then balance it on 2 razor blades so it wouldn't blow apart. So we put back these hopped up electric motors into these race cars, and it was crazy. These things were so friggin' fast. Number one, if it didn't blow up on the first ride, you had a good car, you had a good motor, and these things would smoke everybody if you could keep the damn things on the track. They were so fast. So that was a lot of fun. So, I might say I built the first high-performance electric car way before Tesla was around. Right, so that was a lot of fun. Next was drones. That's another crazy thing. I just get on these kicks where I get into a hobby. I got to get really good at this, better than anybody else. Whether it's on a race bike, roller skates, whatever. My daughter bought me for Christmas a little remote-controlled helicopter, and we live in a house with a very high roof. And I'd fly the little helicopter all over the house, and I had a ball with it. And I said, God, I think we're onto something. Then I bought a toy drone, and I learned to fly that. That was really hard to do because, whoa, look at that. Where'd he come from? Cool. All right, so now I'm into drones because I really like flying them. You had control, and it was hard to control. You had 2 sticks. Everything changed. The height, how high, how low, whether it went left or right. And it was easy to fly it away from you. But when you had to fly it, the thing coming at you, everything was backwards. Turn right to go left. That's called line of sight flying a drone. So I did that for a while with, we went from little toy drones to big drones, and I flew them line of sight for a long time, maybe a year, 2 years, I don't know. Probably went through 30 or 40 drones, had to tear them apart, rebuild those, keep them running. Motors would burn out, this would burn out. Then we watched a video where somebody put a camera in the drone, and he had a pair of glasses that saw what that camera saw in the drone. And I'm thinking, wow. Ultimately, that became known as FPV, Frank Paul Victor drones. So now we have these drones that you would fly, and you were in the driver's seat of this drone. Now this was early when they just had, little slow drones and really terrible goggles. Over the next year or so, everything got more sophisticated, and we built a high-performance drone with a really good camera, and somebody came out with a really good set of goggles, so you got a very clear view of what this very fast drone was doing. And within a year, we had these drones that were so friggin' fast, it was ridiculous. And these goggles were good. It was like 3D, like you were, this drone would be sitting on the ground and you hit the gas on it, and in a matter of seconds, you're 1,000 feet in the air. These drones would do 0 to 130 in less than a second, maybe a second and a half. They were crazy. They screamed. And you were in the driver's seat, just feeling it all. The acceleration, speed, height, the flips, flying anywhere you wanted, in between trees. Ultimately became FPV racing, where they race these drones in arenas. And then freestyle, where guys were just using their imagination and then flying through parking lots, old abandoned buildings and warehouses, doing things that you just can't believe. And that was wild. Then we bought a camera drone, a professional grade camera drone that wasn't extremely fast, but it had a really good camera on it. The FPV drones weren't cinematic photography; these were cinematic. Cameras on a DJI drone. These were professional grade drones. So 2-mile run over. You want to get a picture of him sitting on it? You want to get a picture of him sitting on it? If he's not scared. My granddaughter's about his age. She won't get on it.
Oh no, she won't?
Yeah, she's scared of it.
She's obsessed with
I bet he will.
Thank you. This is a popular route for cycling, I would assume, for biking.
Hang on a sec.
Oh, sorry.
All right, just pulled out of the visitor center, Skyline Drive Visitor Center. Beautiful view. You can see the Shenandoah River. Oh, you can still see it. There it is. That's just a cool meandering river. It's been following me. We're heading down the mountain into Front Royal. Two and a half hours home. Took me 3 hours to get here. Actually 4. I may stop every once in a while. I'll probably stop in Frederick, have some lunch, but I took the long way. Took back country roads here. Now I'm heading back fast as I can. A lot of riding these past 3 days. I can't wait to get home.